What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is Count Von Count. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Kimo. The map is Alfheim, and this is a best of 3 for the King of the Gods 2 tournament hosted by Ray Del Age. This is game number 2, first game going for Count Von Count. I currently do not have the scoreboard because I've only got currently set up a scoreboard for Champions League, and it feels weird using the Champions League scoreboard for anything other than Champions League. Alrighty, so what are we watching here? Kimo decided to move away from the Ra. This is surprising. He's going in with the Greek. Hades versus Odin is not an easy matchup. This is, I think a lot of players out there are like, they think that Hades versus everyone is just broken. But in terms of gods, if you look at the overall win rate of Hades, yes, he's sitting at the highest. But the majority of players play Uranus or like maybe Zeus or maybe the Egyptian gods, right? If you take a look at the direct win rate between Hades and Odin, I believe it's actually fairly close to equal, if not favoring the Odin. So Kimo will have his work cut out for him here in this game, trying to take out Count Von Count's Odin. But that being said, it's not a simple game. It's not a simple matchup at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a free win for Odin in the slightest. Just saying that Odin's got a nice time here most of the time. It's not like he's an automatic lose like some other gods that I know. There's the villagers. Oh, I like that. Oh, got to build a granary though. I like that he shot that elk back into this pack here, and he can drop a granary like right into the middle here. There we go. There's that granary. A little trick, and this is Kimo's probably doing this because he doesn't want to deal with the extra micro or whatever. But in the early game, there's not a whole lot going on. But the trick here is that you don't want to put 2 villagers onto one building if you can help it. So you just have them gathering resources, and then once they hit 15, you swap them off onto the granary so that you can get the most amount of resources possible. It's a very small amount. So I can understand wanting to put 2 villagers on the granary and just like not dealing with the micro that it takes, but it's a thing nonetheless. So we'll see what sort of advanced time here Kimo is going to go for. He's got a nice map with the elk and the deer over here. He didn't drop a granary on the chicken like a lot of lower level Greek players do. You definitely don't want to be doing that. At the most, you want to drop 2 granaries. Sometimes you have to drop 3, but if you can get away with dropping 2 granaries, you want to drop 2 granaries there. So Count here, he's also used his great hunt on this hunt here, so he's got plenty of resources to advance there. And he sees his deer nice and close to his starting hunt here as well. So he's going to be really enjoying that one in this game. But the other thing here is there's really not a whole lot of food on this map. So both players are going to have to farm fairly early. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes into a kind of weird, like, fast second town center from the Kimo side of things, followed by like a delayed second town center or even a fast third town center after the delayed third, like go for a handful of units, town center from the Norse player. Wouldn't be surprised to see that either. But we do see Athena coming through here for Kimo. No surprises there. Count Von Count on the other side of things going for Freya. And we'll see how it all ends up going. As we do see 6 villagers on the gold there. 5 villagers, 7 villagers maybe on the wood over here as well. Two arrows going to be dropped in. That's a beautiful relic here for Kimo. That one there is going to help out an absolute ton. There's also Monkey Head, which is beautiful. Oh, and the Trios bow. That one's gigantic for Kimo as well. As we see, the village is moving forward here onto the deer. And a house coming down. Long house coming down. Very standard stuff here for Count Von Count. Kimo's going to be getting himself out the Chiron straight away. I feel like he's advancing this late. I feel like you should be able to get the Chiron out and drop the town center straight away. There's this thing that I think that Greek players, especially Hades players, do, which is they put too many villages onto food. At this point, having 300 food, there's just no point in it. You can actually get away with significantly less villages on food while you're advancing in order to get that town center up much, much faster. And then you can put the villages over onto food a little bit later. As you do see that Valkyrie manages one villager kill there with the forest fire. Count's going to be happy about that one there. For sure. As this town center on the bottom here is going to go up for Kimo. You have to click the town center first though. There we go. And basically, if you go for a back town center as Hades, it's unless you build really far forward and you're super aggressive with the Odin, you're not going to stop the town center from going up. You're just not going to stop that town center from going up kind of ever. As the Valkyrie is going to come through, and we've talked about this before. We'll talk about it again. It's almost like it's better once you get in and you get that forest fire off, you get that little bit of damage off. It's almost better you just put that Valkyrie back in your base and use it as a healing thing and use it in the actual fight, because it does take a while for the Chiron to kill it off in a fight. It gets a lot of DPS off, but if you're just looking for raids, the Chiron just moves around and snipes it down. It's no problem. As Kimo gets his town center up, and he's got a ton of cows, he's got the berries, he's got the chicken, he's got a very, very nice defensive base here. I'm wondering if he's going to get his upgrades straight away, or what his sort of idea is. We do see the town center up, and Kimo spots that immediately. Absolutely immediately here. He's like, hey, Count, I see you're getting a town center. Yeah, I can see it. Hi. And Count's just like, give me the town center. As opposed to shank, 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 which maybe he should be doing. As the army pushes forward, the raiding cavalry here, they are able to take down the Chiron relatively fast here. Nice micro here from Count to pull back. That Minotaur might end up falling here. The Herser and the Minotaur do move at the same speed though, so we're not going to be able to catch up to that one anytime soon. As Head of Orpheus also coming through for Kimo, he's going to be seeing all of that building line of sight there. You can see 8 extra line of sight. As the chicken just about to be finished up, and it looks like Count's going to start moving over onto those cows. Lots of villagers left on the wood and on the gold, so it does kind of... We are seeing villagers moving up to the top caribou here. There's a lot of caribou actually on that position. Oh, that's not the town center I expected to see get grabbed there by Count Von Count. He is going for that 3 town centers after all. So this 4 town center here, there is a weakness to this, and it's basic. The weakness is basically, if Kimo notices you pulling that town center up, he's going to be able to push you off it much easier than anything else. But we'll see how it's going to go. Kimo's now putting down his farms, and he's got a couple of villagers. Oh, a villager over here might get sniped. Nice play here from Count Von Count, as he does manage to catch that one. And that Chiron gets another shot off onto the Valkyrie. Great distractions, though. That's perfect. Keeping Kimo away from this town center as best as he can. Gonna get that up. I wouldn't mind seeing a barracks or something getting dropped onto this town center. Not going for it, but just a barracks getting dropped on so he can spam some units. It looks like Count's actually going to rush the heroic age after this, which I actually really love, because you don't really want to fight the Hades player. So as greedy as Count Von Count is playing here, even if he loses this town center, if he gets it up first and foremost, even if this one goes down and he gets to the heroic age, he's going to be in a much, much better position than Kimo is, because Kimo will be stuck in the classical age. As the units come through, checking that town center out, but there's nothing there, because this one is the one going up. The monkeys are searching around the map here for Kimo. And the town center is now up for Count Von Count. Beautiful play. As a heroic age is definitely on the way now. I'd be surprised to see anything other than Skadi here. I was surprised for a moment, but Count Von Count corrected himself much, much better. And now what Count Von Count needs to do is he needs to get out army. He needs to not fight. He needs to somehow stay away from utilizing his frost. And Kimo, on the other hand, Kimo actually probably needs to go heroic age here. Why? Because the natural tendency here for the Norse player, if he goes, is to build Huskarl straight away in this position. And Kimo's not going to have any answer to the Huskarl without having access to the Pacifist. But if Kimo just masses units, he might be able to take a Townsend out. He might be able to get some damage done. But he's going to be finding himself in a very, very difficult position moving forward here. Sorry for the coughing yet again. As the villagers moving up, grabbing this shenanigans. I love that this hunt is getting grabbed here. Kimo should, or he's got the relic monkey basically on it. Those units can sneak over there at any point here. As now Count Von Count's in the heroic age. A house coming up. He's building Ulfsark here for some reason. He needs to be getting that hill fort up immediately. As the Frost Giant comes over here, freezes that hoplite. Nice play. Villagers are retreating away. Count is very, very far away from affording a hill fort, which is making me a little bit scared. Though he's got really safe resources, so no real problems here. As the villagers happily grabbing this hunt over here. Kimo still has got this relic monkey, just giving himself a little bit of line of sight. As the army pushing in, a couple of Hades Shades coming through, causing a little bit of problems here for Count Von Count. But Count's just going to retreat back, sit in that town center. He can just garrison into the town center if he wants. And let that town center's damage go up. Look at the damage now the town center gets done with the unit's garrison. This is a great way to defend. A really, really good defensive resource. Scout. He might have to take a fight soon. He does have that frost, so he can even put a frost down and... You can even put a frost down and just kill off the enemy army here at this point if he so chooses. As Kimo, he's still pumping units out. This is a very, very risky strategy. We'll see if it's going to pay off for him. As Kimo pushes in, and he's still got that frost if he wants to use it, and he does decide in that moment to chuck the frost down. There's a perfect amount of... He could put a wall here. You throw a hill fort down. Lots of options. There is a restoration available for Kimo, though. That's going to be the tough part, as we do see the hill fort actually getting denied to some degree by Kimo's reinforcements here. The Count Von Count's going to be at 145 population, with a hill fort helping defend himself. Fighting underneath the restoration, but still getting a little bit of damage done, most likely onto this army after the 20 seconds is elapsed. And he's going to be able to get Huskarl out here. He is missing himself a house. There's the house. A couple of idle units he needs to sort out in this fight, but those Huskarl are going to be so important moving forward. I love that he's repairing this back up with a handful of units just in case Kimo decides to bum rush it. As the army spawns here, restoration will most likely get utilized. But I imagine that Count Von Count here, he could just garrison into the hill fort with some of his units and then pop back out. But he's got such a commanding lead in population that restoration just does nothing here. The army gets pushed back. And look at this. We were talking about it before. This is the risk of going for this mass army play in the classical age as Hades, as Greek in general against Norse. The problem is that if you don't get any damage done, your opponent's going to be in the heroic age and you're going to be stuck in that classical age trying to find value against Huskarls, which is just so absurdly strong. Not only that, might also find yourself having to deal with thundering... What is it called? Thundering Axe? No. Huntress Axe. Throw an axeman. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Count Von Count here. He's still on the cows after all is said and done. Wouldn't be surprised to see Count Von Count able to go Mythic Age here very, very shortly because his entire army basically is just wood and gold. So his food is just going to skyrocket here. As you do see the army trying to push through here. The problem here for Count is he needs to get those Huskarl onto the Thrown Axemen. So, not the Thrown Axemen, the Toxotes. So he will have to retreat back for the time being. Kimo has held on here somewhat. See, Ajax pops out. And this is a much, much better fight now for Count Von Count. He's also got that heavy infantry upgrade to boost his Huskarl and his Throw and Axeman. But not really microing those Huskarls. It's really not that hard. You just right-click onto a Toxote. Unlike a cavalry unit, the infantry units don't have the pathing problems that a cavalry unit has. So you can very easily slide the Huskarl into dealing max damage against those Toxotes. County's still sitting at full population. Look at that. 60 villages there, 20 villages there, 80 villages basically right now. In a really, really good spot. You might want to be thinking about getting fortified town centers to help him out. But he also needs to get those farms down. And there's that fortified town centers coming through. As the army's still breaking through onto this position. Another hill fort would not go astray here either for Count Von Count. Is the army going to be retreating back? Frost Giant moving forward. Longhouse coming down. As that Longhouse is up now for Count Von Count. He's in such a fantastic position here. How are the economic upgrades looking? He does have himself Bowsaw, but no shaft mine or anything like that. This gold mine is just about to be expired, so he does have that to be worried about. As there's that next hill fort coming up. This is exactly what he needs. More Huskarl. As Kimo pushes forward. I imagine Kimo, yeah, he might be able to get to Apollo now. The fighting hasn't gone as well as I would have expected here for Count Von Count. So Kimo's managed to get himself to that heroic age and get himself a third town center as well. So nice play here from Kimo to hold on against the very, very strong Norse army here. Oh, man. The Count has done this really nicely. He's already set up these walls over here to block off this entirety of the map. Whereas Kimo, I don't think he's really set up any walls just yet. He's putting some military buildings down over here, but he's not really secured his map here all too well. He does have a Pegasus, and he is going to be looking for what looks to be some sort of an underworld play. The Count Von Count's units here, they're not going to be dying. Those Toxotes do nothing anymore to these Huskarl. But once the pacifists start coming through, the Huskarl are going to be very, very weak to those Huskarl, to those pacifists. And Kimo's going to immediately start building those. And then Count Von Count either has to get to the Mythic Age and make Fire Giant, Fenris Wolves, or Ballista. Or he needs to go into raiding cavalry, which I don't think he's really going to be wanting to do. The other thing here is the Count Von Count, he almost looks like he's gearing up to go for some sort of a Ragnarok attempt, which he doesn't necessarily need to click Ragnarok, but going through Baldur is not a bad idea. Idea being you can just get that resources, tick those up, try and hold on as long as you can, try and set up. And then once you got all the resources, you can spam towers with your rag, take position, have your 30 camel or ox caravans or whatever, so you can rebuild your villages nice and fast. Nice raid over here from Count Von Count. He's trying to get those side builds down, distracting nicely over here. Kimo at this point, 126 population. He's now getting those pacifists out, which are going to be very, very good against the infantry units of Count Von Count. But Count Von Count's clicked up through Baldur, as the Pegasus does spot this position over here. I imagine Kimo's not going to be waiting here. He's probably going to just jump straight onto this. So it's not that many units, but he will be taking out the trade route. That's the big problem. And the Underworld Passage does indeed get utilized here. And Count smartly just going to be pulling away from that one. There's a gold mine over here. Plenty of gold on the map. And what Count Von Count might want to consider before he clicks Ragnarok is setting up with Ballista. Just to give him that siege potential, I guess. As the villagers retreat, they could move on to that gold mine over here. You do see the longhouses up. A couple of thrown axemen getting built out there as well. There's a fortress coming through here. And County's got so many villagers out here. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know if this Ragnarok is going to be enough. We'll have to wait and see. Kimo's got... The problem for Kimo here is that his gold access has been shut off. He's only got he's got 4 gold mines here, right? But if he loses this one position, he loses all of the gold mines. And Count von Count does indeed... 369! 369 population Ragnarok flowing through here. How are the upgrades looking? Not full bronze, but not bad. Another market getting restarted up the top here as his units coming over here to try and defend his trade route to some degree. As I imagine the army will immediately break through here. We do see... I thought there was masons there, but that's just the relic. So no building upgrades just yet for Kimo. Now, this is such a huge Ragnarok, but the thing is that the Heroes of Ragnarok is so... Not the Heroes of Ragnarok. The Hapaspas are so strong against the Heroes of Ragnarok that Kimo's going to... Well, Count von Count's population is just going to drop so fast. Already down 100 population. That means he's lost 30 Rag Heroes already. He does manage to claim this town center. He does have farms set up, so he can easily start his food population again. The villagers get pushed off of this gold mine immediately. Pushed off of this gold mine. There's no gold there remaining. There is a gold mine on the front here that Kimo could potentially sneak. Because Count von Count doesn't really see it. But there's just so much to push through here for Count von Count. One thing Count von Count could do is drop a hill fort down on this position to help him out, or a whole bunch of towers here wouldn't go astray to help him break through here. As the underworld is now dealt with, those ox caravans have got coinage, they're motoring ahead. Double the trade route as well, so he's technically going to have 6 production buildings worth of economy here. As the Rag Heroes absolutely annihilate that army of Kimo. Kimo decides better retreat back, fight underneath the watchtower, fight underneath the sentinels. As the town center is now completed. Does Count have those villages set up? Yes, he does. Kimo desperately trying to hold on. 117, 115 population. No gold income. Does he have a market up somewhere? He does have a market, but no trade route, obviously. A trade route from here wouldn't have gone astray. So watchtower getting taken down. And Count von Count at this point, he's down to 196 population. He's about to start the economic re-boom. He has to make sure he kind of tapers off a little bit. Don't lose too many units all at once. Keep on trading well. Because now the villagers start. And Count can kind of pull back. Let a couple of units die. Pull back. Get his fire giants coming through. Get that economy going. I don't like the idea of building throwing axemen or even, well, maybe ballista aren't a bad idea. I like this here. A wall around on this back corner here. Idea being ballista, hill fort, towers attacking this town center for later. Because the ballista are now out for Count von Count. And those buildings are going to start getting taken down. Kimo, on the other hand here, he's still only at 115 population. He's got a handful of villages, but they're not really doing a whole lot. And there's no gold anywhere for him. The problem actually for Count von Count is he needs more villages on food, or he needs to buy food at this point. Buying food wouldn't be a bad idea. to get those villages pumping back out and those ox caravans built. Oh, look at the damage those ballister do, though. Bam. Bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. I mean, the other problem here is for Kimo is that he needs a gold mine. I mean, he's moving over here onto this one, which isn't a bad idea. If you can get up a hill fort or a fortress over there, I wouldn't go astray. But how does he deal with these fire giants? You don't deal with the fire giants is the big thing. So the fire giants are going to maybe try and chase down those heavier pacifists that are going after the trade route. I mean, the only way you really pick off these fire giants is with the Perseus, but fire giant ballaster has already started here for Count von Count. This is probably the most perfectly... This has probably been the most perfect Ragnarok execution I think I've ever seen from Count von Count. He's slowly building that economy back up, but he's built these ballaster, he's built these fire giants, he's got this death ball of an army that Kimo just cannot approach. But Kimo's playing it nicely by moving up onto this position here. Getting that secured. We do see the heavy pacifist running into the main base of Count von Count, getting taken out by towers for free there, though. There's a temple coming up on the front here to produce some more fire giants. I like that. And Count's going to move down to the bottom of the map, try and push off the gold tip. He's got to be a little bit careful of those ballisters. We do see some walls coming up here to protect them. I love that play here from Count von Count. Nice preemptive action here to retreat back behind his already built walls as the army comes through. To say good day to these villagers on that gold mine. Sniping down the Achilles immediately here before the fire giants take any damage. Look at that. The special ability just takes those heavy pacifists down immediately there. Kimo's gold villagers are going to get taken down very, very fast. Kimo pulling off the gold here for the time being. Count von Count, 14 villages on food. He's motoring ahead. Does he have any up? Yes, he's got great upgrades on the economy there as well. There's the Chiron getting taken down. The Ajax getting taken down. The army over here cannot stand up to these fire giants. And Count can build so many more of them. 100 favor in the bank here. Got to be a little bit careful to be ensuring he's fighting with those fire giants. And if he doesn't, the heroes of Ragnarok all fall. But maybe Count doesn't care. Remember, he's got plenty of those ox caravans. So if you look at the bottom left and you see the villager numbers, he's got probably an extra 20 ox caravans or something. You do see the villagers have snuck up onto this gold mine, but it does get sniped down. Count von Count is not going to be allowing any gold to come through here. As the Achilles comes back out, gets taken back out. Chiron coming in as well. And Count von Count is now set up with those not those Cairo ballaster, those ballaster here. Trying to take out the fortified town center. And Kimo in that moment decides no gold, no hope. As Count von Count basically strangles him to death in this game. This is a masterclass in the appropriate strategy to go for. But the thing is here that if you do go for this strategy as Norse, the Hades player needs to go for a semi-fast heroic. You've got to be switched on mentally here to recognize that that's what's happening. It's pretty simple. If he's not building army, what else could he do? Answer is he could be going heroic age, and you have to do exactly the same thing yourself. Otherwise, you end up stuck in the classical age with Hoplite Toxotes against a pacifist throwing axeman. And you don't want to be in that position here as Hades. And Kimo just he almost brought it back, in all honesty, but Count von Count too strong. That Ragnarok was too well executed. And he gets that win. He wins in 2 here. Kimo not out of the tournament. I believe he goes into the losers bracket, but Count von Count going to be very happy about that win there. If you guys want to see more of these King of the Gods 2 tournament action, definitely head on over to Radel Age. A whole bunch of the other community streamers are casting this tournament, so definitely check it out. I'll cast the games that come through if people recommend them for me. Otherwise, if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll see you in the next one.